So what's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Teenage Hurdles, the podcast. My name's Henry, and it's been quite a while. Apologies since the last episode. We've been pretty stuck on exams, but now we're back. We're in a holiday break, and you better expect a lot more episodes to come, and it's gonna be a lot more hype. So it'll be really good. But yeah, today I'm joined with one of my bomb ass friends, my buddy Max.
Yes, sir.
I've known Max for a long ass time. Since primary school.
Yeah, since like year three.
In year three.
Yeah.
And yeah, over the years we've been great friends, and even now we're in year 12, and it's still going strong.
Even Henry started hustling in year 3. up until now.
No. So, on that note, well, that's what me and Max are going to be talking a lot about today. Hustling, because Max is a big hustler. And that inspirational mindset, all in the mind, that's something Max has always been talking a lot about, something he's been very keen and passionate about. And yeah, same thing, I've grown a lot more fond of this. You know, idea of working harder, having that discipline, and making sure that, you know, everything that we do is put in with 100% force.
I think that all starts with like goals, right? Like goal setting and stuff like that. That's where the self-discipline kind of begins.
Yeah.
And I know that you yourself want to you have that like entrepreneurial mindset, you know, starting this podcast and then your previous sneaker businesses and stuff like that. So I think that's where it all really begins. And then I really like music is a huge motivation for me to like do the things that I do music like in the future, because I myself really want to like thrive in like the production of music and stuff like that. So I guess that's where that mindset all really begins, that really wanting to do what you want to do, right? That self-discipline.
Yeah 100%. Yeah, so Max just talked about his music, and that's, you know, a very, very interesting part that I want to dive more into. Max hopefully wants to as well. But before we go any further, Max, I want to ask you, how have you been holding up over the past term, because now we're like and done now.
So right now it's almost the end of term 1 of our final year of high school. So obviously final year we've been bombarded with assessments and stuff like that. So I think it was like challenging, and at times we just had to keep going and keep on studying for assessments. But I think it was, this time was okay. It wasn't too bad. Yeah. How about you?
Oh yeah. I don't know, dude. I've been feeling I've been pretty lazy for the past while. I haven't had that locked in flow and commitment. I don't know.
I think that's being lazy, like in terms of goal setting and stuff like that. Like being lazy is such a huge well, I'm not saying it's like for you, right? But just in general, because you mentioned laziness. Yeah. Like just for goal setting, laziness can be such a huge barrier and burden for people. Like procrastination and stuff like that. Yeah. And then I guess later in the podcast we'll be talking about how we could deal and cope with laziness. And just get that one step closer to our goals and stuff like that.
Now, how have you been feeling about school lately?
School,
have you been stressed about it? Is there a lot of work?
Yeah, I mean it's okay, it's all right. Yeah. But then like towards the end, you know, we had like the CAS swimming. Yeah. And then we've got camp coming up, so it's hype. It's pretty hype.
We got camp coming up next week. I'm so bloody hyped for that. It's just you're not thinking about anything. You just go and you just relax.
It's like the highlight of the year.
Yeah. Just 8 days out in the field.
Yeah.
And then you just march around. Yeah.
Henry's saving lives with signaling.
You just do like absolutely nothing on camp. I'm just chilling there with like a walkie-talkie. Just like absolutely nothing. But Max, what do you do?
So I'm
still not sure what you did.
So me neither. Yeah. So basically, for camp we go on this thing called AFX, which is annual field exercise.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like an army kind of thing.
Yeah.
But like we're cadets, so it's not like it's not the actual army, but it's I don't know. I wouldn't say simulation, but kind of like how would I explain this? AFX isn't a simulation, but in AFX, like you have like corporals, sergeants, recruits, cadet under officers and stuff like that. So we have these different ranks.
Yeah.
But it's like, I guess, would you say simulation?
Yeah.
Like of the actual army, I guess.
I think the cadet program at our school. So they always at our school they always flex about it, how it's
the biggest
in like
the biggest in
this east south. I don't know where
yeah.
we are. Yeah, the biggest in the east side of the atmosphere. But I think the purpose of it is to just give us that simulation of what the army is like.
Yeah.
And what that experience going into it is all about. And like for example, the camp.
Yeah, and then the camp is where you have like medics attached to platoons.
Yeah.
And then they help anyone that's like injured, and then Henry himself, signaler, he radios back to like the headquarters and stuff on like their position and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then I like do logistics, so kind of like the distributing of goods like food and rations. And there's these things called make them, so like orders from different companies.
Yeah.
Whether it could be like a shoe, a sleeping bag, or things, stuff like that. So like my team and I, the logistics team, we organize all of that.
Oh, good stuff.
Across the whole thing.
Yeah. There's so much stuff that I actually got to learn. Before it, we have it's in like 6 days.
Yeah.
Because if I didn't learn it, this kids probably die. So I gotta know my know my stuff. But like with all that cadet stuff, there's a lot of kids in our year who take it extremely, extremely seriously.
Oh yeah, facts.
Work so hard on it, and that's respect. They put a lot of energy into it, and I don't know. I like that moving up ranks. That's a big part of that cadet program.
Yeah, it's like the main thing, I think.
Yeah.
It's like
It's just that every year you have the potential to go up to the next rank.
Yeah.
And that's what everyone like sweats all about.
And then every time you move up a rank, you're in charge of more people.
Yeah. But
so I think that's what the hype is about, just being in charge.
Yeah.
It's like the power.
Yeah.
But,
so a lot of kids, they work very hard.
Yeah.
On those areas, trying to get to the position that they want.
Yeah.
And trying to show off to the people. Show off to their leaders, show off to their the teachers.
Yeah.
That there's someone good. So they can get promoted. That's the word. So they can get promoted to the next position. And well, buddy, that's I guess on the topic of,
goals and
goals.
Because people so for this whole rank thing, right?
Yeah.
It's not a guarantee that people will make it.
Yeah.
So the higher the rank gets, the harder it is to achieve those goals. I mean,
facts.
that goal of getting that higher rank, right? Because
Yeah.
there's more and more competition. The demand is lower for the higher ranks.
Yeah.
And that is where, the topic that we're talking about today comes in, right?
Yeah.
Goals and ambitions, because people have goals in life. And yes, they may work on it sometime in their life, but in the end, those more determined people are able to overtake the people that want the same goal and then achieve it in the end. And then
100%.
I came up, I don't know if I saw it somewhere or something, but like this quote came up into my head.
Yeah.
It was like it's I don't know if it's like, I mean there's like a meaning to it, but I don't know if it's good because I might have made up or I saw it somewhere.
Yo.
It's called motivation is okay. It's on my phone, but off my memory.
Yeah.
Motivation is how everyone starts. Discipline is how people finish. So like, everyone, I want to do this. I want to be a musician, right? I want to succeed in the music industry, for example.
Yeah.
Everyone has that goal. But then it is those people who not only talk and dream about it, but take those extra steps into actually doing it that are able to succeed.
100%, yeah.
So that's like discipline. And discipline, I believe, is like my opinion, discipline is the most important thing to success. Without discipline, you won't have consistency. Without consistency, you won't have success. You won't get the things you want in life.
100%, yeah. And that's something I've come to realize a lot more lately. Well, yeah, we've been, told the quote and the idea that hard work beats talent. When talent doesn't work hard. That's a quote I really love. Because I mean, in the past when we were younger, we always had that justification for being worse than someone else, saying, we're not talented. No, like we're not talented at that. They're so talented at whatever sport they do.
Yeah.
They're, oh my god, he's so smart. And that's just an excuse for a lot of us to not even step through the door and give that, activity a try. But yeah, no, that couldn't be further from the truth. Like hard work always, supersedes just that innate talent that some people kind of have.
And I feel like social media plays such a huge role in this, right? Because we see all of these, it's so easy to just follow people on Instagram or whatever and see these big famous like good looking people just succeeding online, and then all of these comments just like praising them, right?
Yeah.
And then I'm like a victim of this as well, I'm not gonna lie, but then you see them and you're like, damn, I don't know if I can do that. I don't know if I'll ever be able to be in that position. And then we just go into this continuous cycle.
Yeah.
We have that mindset, and then we see another person, oh, look, I don't know if I can, like, damn, that's crazy. Like how,
I get you.
I don't know if I can, be them, or they're so much better than me.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. So it's like, social media is like, in this case, is like poison. So I think,
yeah, like social media, what's so dangerous about it is because you see it and it, there's, for example, this workout transformation post. It's just a direct black and white. On this photo 2 years ago, they were this, fat, overweight person. But then in another 2 years, they're just this jacked, perfect physique person. And what a lot of people, I think, fail to comprehend is that there was hard work during this period.
Exactly.
It wasn't just an overnight, success.
And it looks like an overnight success with those two pictures and the comparisons, right? But in reality, they're probably like, they definitely wanted to like quit so many times. They just, went through blood, sweat and tears to get that place. And I think social media actually hides that fact a lot. Like everywhere, they always hide the fact that people have worked so hard behind the scenes.
Yeah.
And that's why it has affected people like me, where we're like, damn, I wish I could be that. Why is it so easy for them?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, just give me a sec. Let me just like double check the video's going.
Okay.
Okay, we're good.
Okay.
And I have another question. I was just thinking about that, and because a big problem with the Instagram models, the people who flex that they have money, they open their e-commerce business,
Drop shipping.
Yeah. What is the line between being inspired and feeling, oh crap, I actually want this as well, motivating people, and being discouraged that you can't do that, it seems so far away, if you get me?
So what is the difference between...
What is a fine line between seeing something on social media and feeling inspired and motivated to also go for the things that this model is going through, versus looking at someone and just having that negative perspective and mindset, and grilling them of whatever they're doing and feeling discouraged yourself that I can't accomplish this?
So this is where I think taking steps comes in, right? Because if you see, for example, if someone is not too far in front of you in terms of like the time in swimming, right? You think, oh, okay, I'm inspired. I could do this. I could match their time in swimming for like a 50-meter freestyle.
Yeah.
So then you work hard, but then when like in terms of being discouraged, when you see someone that is like 20 seconds off your personal best for like a 50-meter freestyle, I think that is where you feel really discouraged and you're like, damn, I don't think I can ever do that.
Yeah. Yeah. I think,
and that's where mindset has to come in.
Yeah.
Mindset. So I have like before this podcast.
Yeah.
I found like these things, and it explains the importance of mindset. And then I know how I said discipline is the most important thing, but discipline and mindset kind of relate. So discipline and mindset are the most important things in life. Not just success, but like the most important thing in life. So
yeah. I mean, I think, sorry, going back to that point of having those steps and having that, fine line between feeling discouraged versus feeling inspired.
Yeah.
Connecting that to what you said about mindset, I think it really just depends on the individual and their mental strength and whether they want something bad enough.
Yeah.
And yeah, if someone really doesn't, want something that bad, they'll just...
Someone else is going to overtake them.
Yeah, they'll just throw out excuses instead of, intaking that energy as motivation.
Yeah.
And using that for success.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, sorry, what were you going to say?
Okay.
Yeah.
So I saw this thing online.
Yeah.
Right. It's kind of like a story. Mm-hmm. There's like a twist at the end. So I'll read it out.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's about mindset. The story is about mindset.
Okay.
This is a story about Nick Sitzman, a strong young bull of a man who worked on a train crew. Okay. It seemed Nick had everything: a strong, healthy body, ambition, a wife and 2 children, and many friends. However, Nick had one fault. He was a notorious worrier. He worried about everything and usually feared the worst. One midsummer day, the train crew were informed that they could quit an hour early in honor of the foreman's birthday. Accidentally, Nick was locked in a refrigerator boxcar, and the rest of the workmen left the site. Nick panicked. He banged and shouted until his fists were bloody and his voice was hoarse. No one heard him. If I can't get out, I'll freeze to death in here, he thought. Wanting to let his wife and family know exactly what had happened to him, Nick found a knife and began to etch words on the wooden floor. He wrote, "It's so cold, my body is numb. If I could just go to sleep, these may be my last words." The next morning, the crew slid open the heavy doors of the boxcar and found Nick dead. An autopsy revealed that every physical sign of his body indicated he had frozen to death. Okay, he had frozen to death. And yet, guess what? The refrigerator unit wasn't even on. And the inside temperature indicated 12 degrees Celsius. Nick had killed himself by the power of worry. So, I mean, like, this could be a legend, I don't know, or it could be an actual true story, I don't know. I just found it online. But legend or not, like, that just explains how the mind is such a powerful thing. It even has the power to kill someone. Like, think about that for a sec. The mind is so powerful. That's why, like, yeah.
Wow. Yeah, no.
It's crazy, right? Yeah, it's crazy. It wasn't even, like, he was locked in a refrigerator.
Yeah.
It wasn't even on.
Damn, yeah. I mean, so we don't know if it's a real or...
No, but I mean, like, real or not, there's just some, like, the meaning to it is huge.
Yeah.
Which is, the mind is so powerful. That's why mindset and discipline is the only thing to get us to where we want.
Yeah, this sort of mine is reminding me as well of, something that I've been reading.
Yeah.
Do you know this guy called David Goggins?
I was gonna talk about David
good
Goggins as
stuff.
well. Yeah.
I've been reading his book lately,
You Can't Hurt Me or something like
Yeah,
that.
Can't Hurt Me.
Can't Hurt Me. Yeah.
and I've been bloody loving it so much. That
It's so
book's all
good.
about self-discipline,
yeah.
and you know.
Yeah, I love David Goggins.
Have you read the book?
I have I want to buy it.
You should read it.
Yeah.
I really, really recommend it. I'm gonna talk more about David later.
Yeah.
But basically, at the start of his book,
Yeah.
so I would just like some backstory. David Goggins, he's like,
He had like abusive dad and stuff.
yeah, he had a really, really rough childhood, and you know, when he grew up, he was an overweight dude. But then he trained hard, and he eventually joined the Navy SEAL. I don't know what the actual, but yeah, he joined like the SEAL team in the US, which is the hardest and most
Yeah.
elite, army team to get into, and all about inside the book is just about how to push your mind to the 100%.
Yeah.
In the bio, it's like, almost everyone in the world only are able to access their mind to 40%, but only a small speck of people are able to access it to 100%.
Yeah.
And yeah, basically, at the start of the book, he said, before he became like a motivational talker and speaker, he went and visited a college. I forgot which college, but it was one of those top, U.S. colleges,
Yeah.
Princeton, Harvard, whatever, with really, really smart individuals. And what he was invited to do was just explain about, I'm pretty sure it's just about the mind and the ability of the human to push themselves to the max capacity. And after the talk, someone put their hand up and said, but sir, that's not possible according to science. According to science, after a certain period, the mind just, can't go any further. The human body just can't cross that extra line. And after he said that, the entire hall, the entire lecture theater was all like thinking to themselves, that is true. There's just no way the body can push to that far of a state.
Yeah.
They will reach a point where it just breaks. And David here, he thought to himself, as well, thinking, damn, maybe that's true. All these people who have studied for so many years, who are just, the smartest people in the world,
Yeah.
have that belief. But then he went back and took a step and realized, wait, no, that's BS. It's
Yeah.
all of these people are letting their research, letting science define them and restricting them into reaching their goals. But from his personal experience, from the stuff that he's actually encountered firsthand, all of that science is all just BS. Because he's been able to, use his mind and cross that 110% power. And
like
yeah.
David is because he's like a ultra marathon runner, and I don't know his longest distance, but he's able to run like 100 miles at one go with like nothing. And then I was listening to the Joe Rogan podcast with David Goggins, and he was like, he had like a broken toe and everything. He was like peeing blood and stuff, but then he still finishes the marathon and stuff. And when you mentioned the Navy SEAL thing, he I'm pretty sure he was so overweight to the fact that to like get into Navy SEALs, there was like a couple months before until like the trials or whatever, and then he was so overweight to the fact that people told him it was impossible to even like try out for Navy SEALs. I could something like that.
No, it is,
And then but then he's like, no, I'm not gonna listen to you. And then he did it in the end.
Yeah, he had like 5 months to 4 months, I don't know, to get into that Navy SEAL thing, to meet that cutoff. And during that time, I think they said it was like 225 pounds, 250. I'm not sure. It's something insane, overweight. But even like the instructor dude thought it was, it's possible to make that cutoff over that period. But in that time, he was in a really, really bad spot. He was he was overweight, and he had like no money. The job that he was working at was Did you hear about this?
No,
The job. He was like a rat spray repellent
Oh,
dude.
like the pest control.
Yeah, pest control. That's right. Yeah, at night he would drive along to different restaurants, and all he would do is just like control pests.
Yeah.
Spray shit like all around. He would just have like a fat ass mask on.
Yeah.
And that just reading that was like, this dude isn't such a bad place. So,
And so I think that's another thing.
Yeah.
Like I saw an interview with David Goggins, and he talks about callousing his mind. Because you know how when you lift weights and do, construction or whatever, you get calluses on your hands, so then it hurts less.
Yeah.
So then David Goggins, he calluses his mind by like pushing himself to the limit. So then he can endure more and more challenges in his life. And I forgot, I was going to say something else like really important, but I forgot. Came to my mind, but I forgot.
Well, that idea of callousing your mind, what I got out from the book was every time he had a failure, that was just another extra, layer of protection around him.
Yeah.
So from where I'm at on the book, I'm at about 50%. He failed, I think, was it 2 times or 3 times so far of Navy SEAL?
Yeah.
Just based on, injuries of his leg, his ankle, his shin, like completely just dislocated.
Yeah.
And he had to be medically pulled out. But every time he had to experience, the week was called Hell Week, which was just pushing everyone to the very limits. Even though, he was just in tears, thinking that if I am really wanting to go into this force again, I'll have to rework an entire Hell Week another time again. But he made that realization that, wait, I've already gone through all these tough obstacles, and it has calloused my mind. My brain is, stronger, healthier, more powerful than everyone around me. And that's what pushed him to attack it one more time. And he eventually made it.
Yeah, the thing came back into my mind because you mentioned like the suffering and stuff.
Yeah.
So I put down this thought on this Google Doc, right? And it was just a thought. So a lot of these people, these successful people, I feel like a lot of them come from very difficult places in life. They always start from like a rough childhood and stuff. Like, for example, David Goggins, and then who else?
There's someone on your mind.
There's more. I had a mind blank. So like.
We're just stick with David Goggins for now.
Okay, we'll stick with David Goggins, but I'm sure there's like. Come on, there's more. Surely there's. I know
like
Michael. I know Michael Jordan.
I know another Jimmy Butler.
Yeah.
He came from a tough place as well. NBA player.
And then there's like so many like entrepreneurs and stuff that literally start from like Thomas Edison, I guess, right? Well, that's not like a rough place, but he failed like 1,000 times.
Yeah.
Creating this light bulb, and then he finally got it.
Yeah.
And then I feel like I said so many people come from literally nothing.
Yeah.
They seem to have a high rate of success. So it's just random thought. And achieve more than those who live normal and ordinary lives. Because sometimes I think people like us who live ordinary lives, that live in like a safe neighborhood, safe city and stuff, and go to school and stuff like that, we don't go through that difficulty. That's why our mind cannot endure as much like difficult circumstances as those who have had like a rough background and stuff. And then I said, that's why training your mind to go through harsh circumstances like us, like ordinary people, is imperative to success, I believe.
Yeah.
That's what I thought.
Yeah. I was thinking a lot about that as well. Coming from a rough place.
Yeah.
I feel like the prime, perfect Hollywood movie story is just someone starting from the bottom, having nothing, and then just moving up to the CEO of the world.
Kanye, that's another example. Kanye.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of these rappers, I think, are all like that.
Yeah.
They're just making beats, whatever, in their bedroom.
Yeah.
Like Max, for example. And then they, get big.
Yeah.
And make it. I was discussing with my sister's boyfriend. And what we were talking about was, why is it that, like Max, you said, there's a higher success rate for people who are in like a lower position than people who are in a higher position. And I think part of that is kind of that survival instinct of like, I gotta work hard. I
have to.
Yeah. And there's a larger motivation to get out of that zone, because even I think a lot of them, their mindset is just like, I'm at the bottom. I have to at least get to the middle phase to support my family. But when they, put that 100% effort into, reaching that middle section, I think they sometimes overjump. And sometimes that overgoes. And they get to like the top of society.
Yeah, that's like survival instinct. That's a good way to put it.
Yeah. And a lot of us, right now, we're like in the middle wealthy, part of the world.
Yeah. And it's like so much easier for us. Like we don't have that survival instinct because everything is there in front of us.
Yeah.
And then that's why people like us, we have to train our mind going through the difficulty.
Yeah.
And then this YouTube channel called Yes Theory, who's like, they're like my favorite YouTubers.
Yeah.
And they go around doing these like social experiments and stuff. Their quote or their like brand is called Seek Discomfort.
Yeah.
And then it's always just like pushing yourself outside of your comfort zones, right? In order to achieve what you want. So seeking discomfort and then having that survival instinct to get what you want.
Yeah.
And it will, like, the journey will be uncomfortable. And that's where discipline comes back in.
Yeah.
It will be uncomfortable. Like, getting that dream body of yours will be uncomfortable because there are going to be those days where you do not want to do anything at all. But it is also those days where when you push yourself and you have those discipline and you go to the gym, that's where in the end, when you do get that dream body, that person is going to be thanking your past self for pushing yourself.
Yeah.
I think that's a good way to think about it as well. Like when you're at the top, you're going to be thanking yourself. You're going to be like, damn, I'm so happy during those days I actually pushed myself and did the things that I had to do, rather than in the future you're like, damn, you're like full of regret. You're like, I wish I actually did that. I wish I actually went to the gym on that day,
Yeah. That quote of pain is temporary, regret is like forever or something like that?
Yeah. Pain is temporary and then regret is forever.
Yeah. I think, well, I mean, right now in the world we live in, all of us, seek this idea of instant gratification. Through social media, whatever. If we don't have that instant, push of a button, happiness, this equation, it's just not a very enjoyable life. And I think that restricts us into having that capacity of going through pain and suffering and getting to where we want to. Because, honestly, anything is possible if we just put in work. And you can't achieve success to the highest degree unless you put in somewhat pain into it. For example, I think even, dumb example, but like YouTubers, TikTokers, they obviously, we feel like they have it easy, but obviously they have some like background hard work that they got to put into. And
for TikTokers, not as much. With those,
I guess they still got to put in work and those like dances.
I guess. I know I know what you mean.
Yeah.
Like, except for like the thirst traps and stuff like that.
No. But I was like thinking, I think partly we think that, they don't got to work as hard. For example, YouTubers, is because they love what they do so bloody much.
Yeah.
So it
100%.
lessens their feeling of suffering a lot more.
Mm.
And I think that is something that gives us a lot of power.
Yeah.
If we have that, if we, feel passionate about something, it really lessens the amount of suffering that we have to, even though we're putting in the same amount of work.
And like what you said before about that instant gratification.
Yeah.
Like, I'm a victim of it as well. Like when you post like a story, or when you post, like you kind of look at how many likes it's at and stuff.
Yeah, dude,
And
I get lost in that so easily.
Yeah, exactly. And then there's like this, like you're getting that dopamine, right? And then you just want more and more. And I feel like nowadays our attention span is so much shorter. Like we constantly want that gratification. We constantly want that dopamine.
Yeah.
And that's why I myself, like I've deleted Instagram. And
No,
I know you have as well. Like you disabled your Instagram. And then I feel like Snapchat as well. I don't have Snapchat. And you don't have Snapchat.
Yeah.
Like nowadays, like people, like from like my friends and stuff, and then our friends, like they always send like useless snaps to like people that they don't even meet. They're not even gonna meet in real life.
Yeah.
I feel like just getting that instant gratification dopamine, like, oh, I got this snap from like a chick. Oh my god, I'm gonna send a snap back, right?
Yeah.
I feel like just these things just shorten our attention span, and that's where achieving these goals are so much more difficult.
Yeah.
Because when you put in the work and then you don't see something instantly, you don't see improvements instantly, then you're like, oh, this is not going to work out.
Yeah, there's so much time we waste just doing these like pointless stuff.
Yeah, there's just so much, like I myself sometimes waste a lot of time like scrolling through Instagram. That's why I deleted it.
Yeah.
And then just all this time spent on like people spend on Snapchat.
Yeah.
All this useless time just wasted sending useless blank snaps to like people you're not going to meet in real life. I just find it so pointless.
Yeah. I'm trying to find this stat that I saw, but something crazy. There was this social media company, media company who runs like all these big TikTok pages, these big TikTokers, and like growing them into like something big. That's something that I was really interested in. And one of the stats that they had up was like the average teenager, I don't know, has like clicks away from a video within like 2 seconds or something like that.
I hate that.
And it's so crazy. Like the stats they were so mad. Like the average teenager attention span was so low.
I actually really don't like that. I hate how that's like a thing.
Yeah.
I hate how it's like you see a video like 2 seconds and then you just scroll into the next one.
I was so confused. In the past I had a friend, I was watching him, like we were waiting for something. He was going through his Instagram. It was so fast.
Yeah.
He was just like,
oh, and then they think like they like everything. Yeah. No, I see that as well.
It's so fast, and I'm like, bro,
why do you do that?
Why is he going so fast?
Like,
and I'm just like,
yeah, exactly. Like at school, I see people scrolling through Instagram, and they scroll like they just
Bro,
and so bad.
Because, I mean, even us just doing the act like slowly, it's already like a big instant gratification thing. But just doing that crazy swipe just non-stop. I'm like, bro, how do you do that? And what that extends to was me thinking, it kind of scurbs your capacity to enjoy like the bigger, better things in life. A lot of times I get lost in just like scrolling through stuff, and after that, and I'm sure with you, Max, as well. You just feel like crap.
Yeah, exactly.
You're just like, you don't feel any enjoyment, but
like don't get us wrong. Social media isn't completely a bad thing.
Yeah.
You could use that to your advantage. Like I remember for like TikTok, I always like these like motivational stuff.
Yeah.
And then like these like I see a lot of David Goggins on TikTok. And then that's always like in my algorithm now, like the motivational stuff. Yeah. And then whenever like a motivational video comes up, like, and it's like, get off your phone. Then I just get off my phone completely.
That happened to me yesterday.
Yeah,
I was like, damn, what a great TikTok. Yeah.
Yeah.
But so I was just thinking, after I go through like just a session of just scrolling and feeling like crap after, I think to myself, bro, why not just watch a movie or something? Because I spend like 2 or 3 hours doing it. I might as well just do something more enjoyable, you know, or like going out with friends that I say I don't have time for that. Yeah. Or, you know, watching a great movie. And that's what like really sucks, I think, for us as
like
what do we call it?
21st century.
Are we Gen Z?
Gen Z or whatever that is. Yeah.
I'm not sure. But yeah, our generation, that's a fat problem. Yeah. That social 100%. Media idea of constantly seeking instant gratification because it restrains us, not just in that aspect of wasting time, but also in our, you know, lack of capacity. To, you know, work hard for longer periods of time and pushing ourselves.
It's like such a big problem. Like the listener, if you're listening to this, and you know you think you spend a lot of time on Instagram, just set like a time limit on your phone. Like set up screen time on Snapchat, TikTok. Like get a friend or like like family member. Just be like, put this password in, this screen time password in, and then so you can set it for like 15 minutes. Yeah. And then when that 15 minutes is done, you don't know the password, so you can't go on it.
Nice. Yeah. But what was I gonna say? No, I got a blank mind. But
like back to, cause so like my own experience, like just away from social media stuff. Like, so this is about like callousing the mind and stuff. So this story goes back all the way back to lockdown last year, where we couldn't leave like 5 kilometers of the radius of where we lived because COVID was so bad. Yeah. So then I had this like crazy idea. I was like, damn, what if I ride from my house to a beach, which is like 20 k's plus, and then I got like a couple of people to go with me, and then they're like, you're so crazy, and then I was like, no, it'll be fun. and then we all just ran, and we were like so paranoid, so we did like these, like we went through these like massive hills and stuff, and because like it's easy if you ride through Pacific Highway, but it's like we were scared, like because you can only be with like one person or two.
Okay, no, I get you. Yeah.
And then we were scared someone's gonna check if we were 5 kilometers from where we lived. So we went through these like hills and stuff, and then we got there in the end, right? So and then we had to ride back. Yeah. And then so that was the beach, like a really nice beach. We should go. And then so in the Christmas holidays, I told like, okay, wait, hang on. So after the bike ride, right. I saw, when I had Instagram, I saw this friend, and he used this app called Strava, which tracks like your running. Yeah. And it's like a map of where you've ran, right? Yeah. And then he always posted like these running statistics and him running circles around this oval.
Is it Anlong?
Yeah, Anlong.
Shout out Anlong. Shout out Anlong. Beast.
Yeah, sorry. You saw them as well, right?
Yeah, I mean, I always see Anlong beasting too with those 4K runs. Yeah.
And then so I was like, damn, maybe I'll give it a go because it's like near my house. So I talked to Anlong because he's like a good friend of mine, and yours as well. And then I was like, should we go for a run? And then he was like, yeah, sure. So we started off with, I think it was like 5K, and then one time it was 5K, and then I thought that would be the limit. I was like, shit, I know I can do more. And then the next time we did it, Anlong was like, no, after we did that for those 5 laps, he was like, no, we'll keep going. Because Anlong is like a beast, right?
Really?
And then we ended up doing 8 that time. And I was like, dude, that I definitely cannot do more.
Damn.
Like I didn't think I'd do 8 that day, but I did it in the end. Yeah. With Anlong. And then Anlong again, like we ended up doing, the next time we did 10K. So 10K, and then during that whole process, I actually loved running. Like I started getting into running. So then sometimes I'd go with Anlong, and then we'd always do 10Ks. We never really went less than 10.
Wow.
So because I feel like it's another thing. I feel like if I go less than that, when I run again, I'm gonna, like, for example, if I run 7, I'm gonna be like, no, I'm just gonna run 7 again. Like,
yeah.
It's like how, you know what I mean? Like when you run and then you stop to take a breath, I feel like your body's gonna be like, oh damn, that felt nice, I want that again. And then you stop more and stop more and stop more. So then that slows your whole process down. And then so I feel like that relates to our goals and stuff, right? And that laziness and procrastination. If you stop more and more, your body's gonna be like, oh wow, that felt really nice, I want more of that. So then you keep on stopping, and then you hold yourself back. Right? So then I always do like 10K runs around the oval. I don't really try go for like a PB or whatever. My thinking is that if I can just do this 10K, I'm happy. Obviously, like between a time, like specific time frame. But then I always say to myself, if you can do this, in the end, doesn't matter how fast you do it. If you can just stay running, don't stop, then you can do it, right? So,
facts.
I mean, I still go on 10K runs with like Anlong.
Stuff.
And then in the Christmas holidays, I was like, I told the people that I rode to the beach with, I told them, what if I ran to that beach instead of ride? And they're like, you're so crazy. They're like, you cannot do that. Like, they're like, no. They're like, what? They're like, you're so crazy. And then I think it was that doubt that kind of fueled me, and was like, I bet I'm gonna prove you guys wrong. And that so running from my house to that beach was 20Ks.
Holy cow.
And I told my parents and stuff, and they're like, yeah, you probably need to train before that. You probably need to run like 13 and then like take those steps.
How big is the marathon? Is a marathon 50?
42.
42.
Marathon's
bro,
42.
so it's like half a marathon.
Yeah.
Bro. It's mad.
And then my parents were like, we're not gonna let. Well, they didn't say we're not gonna let you do this, but they're like, you probably shouldn't do this because people train for this stuff, like half marathons. And then the furthest I ever ran was 10K. And then just something inside me was like, no, I'm gonna do 20.
Damn, dude.
And then I said, no, I'm doing 20. So I think this whole process just kind of like starting from 5 to like 8 to 10, just callousing my mind into doing the things, like running from 10 to 20 was also
fat jump.
Yeah, but I feel like you can do it. Like I wanted to prove to myself that anything was possible.
Hell yeah.
Like this was an experiment to prove that whatever I want, if I have that right mindset, I can do it. That's why I wanted to do the 10 to 20. So I planned the whole thing. I told my parents to my parents helped me a lot in this. Shout out mom and dad. They got Powerade into a bottle. Oh, nice. And then they parked somewhere like around 10K. So then we could do like a bottle switch. And then I planned the route on like Google Maps and stuff. And then I put my bottle, because I had one bottle with me, one bottle with my parents. I put the bottle in like a bum bag. So I was running with a bum bag. And then I ran, and I was lucky because it was a cloudy day and it was raining a little bit, so I wasn't that sweaty and stuff. But yeah, I ran from my house to the beach 20Ks, and then at the end I was like, I actually can't believe I just did that. And then I FaceTimed those guys that said, you're so crazy. And then one of them was still sleeping. And then
wow,
like
bro.
The whole time I was repeating to myself, just like the 10K runs, I was like, it doesn't matter if this takes you 5 hours. Doesn't matter if this takes you 6 hours. If you complete it in the end and you do not stop at all, then you're like even I had to piss. I had to piss really bad.
Yeah.
And then like I was running past a train station. So I ran into the train station. Like even when I was like pissing, my legs were like still moving. Like I probably stopped for like my legs probably stopped for like 2 seconds just to like let it out. Otherwise it would have came out.
Okay.
But like other than that, like I didn't stop.
Wow.
Because I knew that once I stopped, my mind is gonna be like that.
Damn, dude.
Like that dopamine, right? That gratification. Like
wow.
that felt good. So then I knew I couldn't stop because it's worse if I stop than if I keep going. So I did it and then I ran to that beach. And then I decided like I liked it because I was like, damn, I just proved something to myself. So then I did it again from Newport up to no, it was from Manly to Newport. And that time, that 20k run was so painful. Like it was like 5 times worse than the first 20k run because the sun was out. It was so sunny. I got pretty sunburnt. It was hot. And the hills were so bad. Like
that makes it so much harder.
Yeah, it was so much harder. And then I remember it was at 17k. I was running up a hill and I was like, dude, I cannot do this at all. My butt muscle, like my thigh, it was the left one. It was in so much pain.
Wow.
And then I was like, I can't do this. I cannot do this. And then I was literally on the verge of giving up. I was so close to giving up because it was painful. And then the sun was like beating down on me and stuff like that. And I was going really, really slow because like I told myself, if I stop, it's going to be worse. So I was so close to like giving up. But then I don't know, like that something just kicked in and then I just kept on going. And then I finished off the 3k. And then it felt good, but then I was like in pain for the rest of the day. But just this whole thing, it was like an experiment for me to prove to myself that anything is possible in callousing that mind. And that's
bro, hell yeah. Jesus. Wait, bro, dude, I have so many questions, but I'll just like pause real quick. I'll just double check them.
Okay. All right.
Okay, so we just had like a little cut there. I just wanted to make sure the audio was chill. Okay, we good. But okay, Max just told that bro inspirational story. But no, I
like anyone can do it. Anyone. I was like, I'm not special. I didn't tell that story just to like say, oh, I did this. I did 20K.
Matt, this is the first time Max telling me the story.
I don't. It's not something I just openly tell people. I did it as like a lesson to myself. And something to prove to myself, and that's why I wanted to share it with you and the listener. Because just to prove to me and you guys, right, that anything is possible if you have that mindset, that survival instinct, that killer mindset. You can do it.
100%.
That
physical. I always thought that physical suffering was, and that physical kind of push was cool and all, but I thought that was, easier than putting it into, like schoolwork, focusing on that, putting into like a project. I thought, that physical was just an easier thing to get past. But over reading that book, I've come to realize that they have a direct, correlation. Reading my book, the David Goggins book, and like what he was, talking all about was he's got to be able to, run that extra mile, push himself when other people aren't pushing, and go that extra like 100 steps. And like even though he was training to get into, the SEAL team, before that he also had to study for this big ass test. and
Yeah.
he was always struggling really hard in school. He was getting, Fs all throughout his life. But yeah, F. But he translated that work ethic from his like sports, from his training into his preparation of studies. And even though he probably didn't have the best study technique, all he did was, in his book, he just talked about how he kept on writing it down until the thing stuck in his mind. And that eventually paid off, and he got into like the SEALs.
Yeah.
And that's what I come to realize as well. And that's something that me personally, I got to intake a lot into my life, pushing that physical self rather than just pushing that away as like something light, something I can focus on later in life.
Yeah, because like you said, they correlate. Like having that physical push is also a mental push as well.
Yeah.
And
I think different activities, bring about different things. Like I was thinking, I don't know, I feel like, gymming, going to the gym and doing stuff, I feel like that's easier than going through like long distance, running, swimming. There's like marathon stuff.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking as well.
Because,
it's like a mental battle, right? Like lifting weights, it could be like 20 seconds or whatever.
I think, it's like really, really short.
Yeah.
And even though it's not as much of an instant gratification as social media, for example, I think there's still quite a big, like, instant satisfaction with that.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, for me, gym junkie, jacked person myself. I'm just kidding. But, like, after just lifting, like, a little bit of weight, I can instantly see my muscles just, like, get bigger. And I'm like, phew, damn, looking good.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think that strengthens your mind as much as someone who's able to, go long distances, go through all that suffering for an extremely long period of time.
Yeah.
Because that's a skill and that a lot of people don't have. Most people don't have in our world.
And I think like I encourage like more people to do that. I mean, like long distance running could be one thing. But there's so many other ways to kind of physically push yourself and go through that. I guess like physical suffering to like to become a better self, right?
Yeah.
And the thing is with like long distance runners, you see them as skinny and whatever, but then these like gym junkies, they're like huge and buff. But I feel like these long distance runners have a stronger mind than those gym junkies, because they're able to push themselves for a really, really long time.
Yeah. Like for example, my internet's not working. Like, what were you gonna say?
Wait.
I know. I was going back to like David Goggins.
Yeah.
So before I just searched it up, he was 300 pounds, which is a few short of 150 kilograms.
Jeez.
Prior to SEAL training, but then,
it's like,
I'm not sure but that's a really
that's
a really big like weight.
Yeah.
I think the strongest man alive right now is like 160 or something kilograms.
Bro.
But anyways, but so this site says like, but when he wanted to become a Navy SEAL, his instructor told him to lose 160 pounds, nearly 50 kilograms. And that basically was like, he had a few months to do that. So like then he cut down to like 135 kilograms.
He caught 130.
Oh wait.
wait.
Okay, I'm not sure. Anyways, no, he got bloody like bum ass physique. You could search him up.
Damn.
But now he holds like
bunch of records.
So many records. He has like the most
pull-ups.
Yeah, most pull-ups in like 24 hours.
Yeah.
What is it here? Guinness World Record for 24-hour pull-up, 4,030 in 17 hours. And
I can't even do 5.
Yeah, and I think and like a bunch of endurance run winners, marathons. Yeah, you get the gist. He's a bloody beast. And the reason why I think he's able to do that is because, not just because he's like genetically superior than everyone else.
Yeah.
It's because of his mind. Because
genetics is just an excuse.
100%. Because before he was just an overweight dude, and I'm sure genetics definitely still played a part. His like father was, even though he was like abusive, he was like a big strong figure, and it definitely helped him. But his ability to do all these hard things of marathon, doing these pull-ups, which is just, can you imagine how painful that is? Just constantly doing that and like going for more, even though it's painful.
And another thing that I saw David Goggins talk about, and like something that I do as well, is no music.
No music?
No music.
Okay.
Like, when I did those runs, and when I do
Really?
runs, I don't listen to music.
What?
Because what David said was that music comforts you.
That's true. Yeah.
And then that music motivates you, right? If you have like a hype up song, that motivates you. But then what happens when you don't have that motivation? What happens when you don't have it?
Yeah.
So that's why David does not listen to music. No music at all. He just pushes himself and just runs. Or does. And that's why when I did those 20K runs and when I do 10K runs,
dude, that's so much harder.
I don't listen to music because he says, David's like, when that comfort is not there for you, what are you going to do? When like you don't have that support network around you, when you don't have that, when you don't have the living conditions that you want, like what are you going to do? You're not going to be used to it. You're not going to be used to that discomfort.
Yeah.
That's what David said, and I was like, damn.
Yeah, no, I watched a video of, when Joe Weller and KSI had their first fight.
Yeah.
There was like a short documentary, and, there was like a direct, contrast between how KSI trained and how Joe Weller trained. Joe Weller had this like, European trainer, someone, I don't know. And he was doing all these like kind of runs and training outside with like nature. Yeah. And he was also told that to not have music. To do stuff and train. And KSI I think was the opposite. He just had like full music, just blast of just working. And obviously, KSI won, Joe Weller lost.
But I feel like that kind of relates to the instant gratification. Like
I feel like because that works because it's a different kind of goal that they're trying to achieve.
I guess, yeah.
That one is kind of like a short term, I want to like achieve this.
When you like win. I want to win the fight, yeah.
But then, I guess that like longevity, practice, and training of wanting to build a stronger mind. I think that idea of having no music, is the better op.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Because another thing that I've learned is, and like I've been thinking about, is this idea of like, F. I was F yes or F no.
F yeah.
Either go 100% yes or 100% no. No, don't go in between. And like that of going for a run, if you're going, I think it's just like what do you want to get out of it? If you want to go just to only purely get a fitter body, I guess you can put on music.
Yeah.
But to get the full experience of training your mind and getting that, power over everyone else, it's a good idea to really go without music and make it the toughest circumstance possible.
Yeah, and that's like just callousing that mind, right? Yeah. And preparing you.
Yeah.
And that reminds me of a quote that I saw, and I'm pretty sure, like you've probably heard of this as well. It's like being broke is hard, being rich is hard. Like getting rich is hard.
Yeah.
Being fat is hard, but getting that ideal body is hard. And then choose your hard. So it's like, which one do you choose? Being fat and it's hard, or trying to get that body, which is hard. I don't know if I'm saying it exactly right.
I get you.
And then it's like, choose your hard, and there was like so many examples. And then I think like my mom has
said something similar in the past, which is just, yeah, like, would you rather deal with problems like financial, tough, big money, whatever, deal problems in the future, or do you want to deal with like things like, your survival, paying rent, things like that?
Yeah, exactly.
And that comes down to, whether you want to work hard right now and whether you want to get to that position in the future. But yeah, a little bit of a transition. But, we talked a lot about this hardworking and self-discipline.
Yeah.
How do you think that has translated over to your other stuff in life? Your grades, your projects, your music, stuff like that?
Like personally?
Yeah, for you.
Well, like for grades and stuff, I guess it's just having that consistency and having that clear goal of what you want.
Yeah.
And then setting that goal, whether that be a 90 plus or something like that, just setting that goal so then you have a clear vision of what you want to achieve.
Yeah.
And then with my music, it's like, I'm gonna be honest, I've kind of been slacking with music, kind of been lazy and stuff like that. But I came up with this thing where, because usually to make like a song, it took me like a week or something like that.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, okay, now we're gonna have one song every 2 days. So keeping that consistent flow, to kind of get where I want, right? Yeah. And I guess that's where that's where discipline comes in. Even though I feel like, I don't want to work on this beat today, I'll probably just do it tomorrow. If I do, who knows? It could become anything, right? And then in the future, I could be thanking myself, being like, I'm so happy I actually worked on that. Rather than not doing anything. And then, because I hate to be like, in the future, during that time I should have worked on it and stuff like that. Yeah, just the regret.
Yeah, Max, like, something I've really admired about you over the past couple of years is like how hard you've decided to work. Because honestly, I think, in the past, the academics and stuff, I don't think, from my point of view, I don't think you were very strong.
Yeah. Same.
I
wasn't the brightest.
Yeah. No. But you just like, I feel like that wasn't something you very much focused on. But I think there was one time, there was the first time you got like a full marks in like a maths test, and I'll be honest, like, when you got that maths test, that wasn't like a multiple choice.
Like, how'd you get that?
I was thinking like, it was probably like a luck thing.
Yeah, I see.
That was from my perspective. But then, over time, you proved me wrong. You kept on getting those grades until I was like, oh crap, this Max has actually been like working extremely, extremely hard.
Yeah.
And bloody, you got there. Now you're like one of the, top dogs in all of the subjects that you do, getting one of those like top ranks. And for business studies, Max last year got second at our school, which is, like an automatic, state rank number 2 or something like that.
Yeah.
So it's like extremely, extremely impressive. So I gotta,
that's like the same as you, right? Like Henry.
I don't know about that.
No, because Henry, like, I don't know if the listener knows this, right?
Yeah.
Henry, he's always had this like entrepreneur mindset, and I've always like viewed Henry as like different from the others. Like legit, even in primary school. Like,
really?
Yeah, like you were always like
real?
different in a good way. And then Henry, like starts a sneaker business by himself, and then earns all that cash. And then he, like partners up with other people in our year, and then, networking, working in a pop-up shop in Newtown. Like Henry has always has this hustle mindset, and then like Henry himself gets good grades as well. And then every time, I hear that another subject gets marks backs, I always ask him how he goes and stuff, and then he always says like this super good mark, and I'm like, okay.
About that, about that.
So no, like Henry himself has like he's a smart man. He's gotten good grades. Like he has that hustle mindset. That's why I view him as different from the others. He doesn't scroll through Instagram every single day or send. Oh, I mean like
Yeah.
send useless snaps.
Yeah.
Well, like Henry has that clear vision of himself. And
Oh,
then
thank you.
even
Max.
like before setting up this podcast, he's like, okay, I want this, and then he has that clear vision, which I don't think a lot of people have right now in society because of because of all of this.
Thank you, bro. I'm like blushing. Just kidding now, but bro, buddy. I mean, thank you for those kind words. But yeah, no, I mean, I haven't been very happy with like my work ethic and how I've been putting my mind into things.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest, I don't have good self-discipline. I feel like I don't work hard enough. And I feel like with you, you're just, a beast of just a grinder. Whatever you put your mind into, you're just able to like work, and outwork everyone else. You just have that determination. And that's something that I really, really want to, learn more about from you, because I always just get lost in other stuff, distractions.
Yeah,
Stuff
I'm like the same as you sometimes. I'm not always like, getting there's always inconsistencies in our in how we act, right? So sometimes I'm like, I just sit around, and then like after the day's gone, I'm like, dude, what did I just do the whole day?
Yeah.
Like that's me sometimes, but I definitely feel like literally anyone can reach their maximum potential.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Could I like get like a little bit of a rundown on how you went in year 11?
How I went in year 11.
Yeah.
Like you mean
like
academics?
for example, like business, your history.
Okay,
The
so
stuff you absolutely beasted.
I mean I got like all-rounder.
Beast, yeah.
What is it called? Like
Academic excellence.
yeah, academic excellence.
Yeah.
But then all my ranks were like top 5. Top
For real?
Yeah. Well, other than like English and math, English was like
business studies, that was second.
modern was 5th. Music was 3.
Yeah.
Math was okay, I think, because there's more people doing math.
Yeah.
Can't remember now. It's like math extension was like 30 something. Math advanced was like 27. Oh no, they were both 27.
So,
Math advanced was 27. Math extension was 27.
wow.
English was like 30 to 40.
Decent.
Yeah.
Pretty,
So
not bad.
like, yeah.
Yeah.
It's alright.
But I wanted to like ask you that because that's a huge disparity, I think, from the past.
Oh yeah.
Because I mean in the past you weren't like one of the top students.
Yeah.
But then like last year it really shocked me that you were able to get such amazing cracked results. And I wanted to like ask you what flipped on your mind. What was your daily life like that pushed you into like going through all of that?
I think it's the fear of not getting that mark, like the regret, like if you like I just didn't want that that mark that I didn't want when I get that paper back. I didn't want to be like, oh damn, I could have like, if I worked hard, I could have been happier, right? Because no one's happy when they don't get the mark that they want.
Totally.
And then just kind of just like beating people and stuff like that.
Do you think
Just
you had that competitive drive? That was something that
Yeah, I
got
think
you?
so. I think so. Well, I mean, for example, like business, I not really. I just kind of just did it. Like I just did it.
Do you think it was that idea that I have to be number one in your mind, that pushed you?
To be honest, like, well, for music, because there's not a lot of people doing it. There's like 15 people doing it now. I think it was like 20 last year. I had that mindset where I was like, surely
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
top like one or something.
Yeah.
But to be honest, for business and stuff, I didn't really have. I know for the second test I had that mindset,
Yeah.
because for the first test I did really well in, so I was like, okay,
So-
let's try and maintain that or push up, right?
Yeah.
But then, second test, yeah, I really had that mindset. But then third test, it was the yearly, I was like, okay, I mean, I can't really remember. I guess I just did it. But I think
Was
gonna
it
say
just something like I want to do well, and it was just kind of like that process?
Yeah. Well, I definitely wanted to do well, but I didn't really.
That ranking of like being number one, that wasn't something that very much grabbed you.
It was kind of there,
Yeah.
but it didn't like pull me. Like it wasn't something that I constantly thought about. Like just maintaining that rank.
Yeah, I'm thinking as well, because I think it's good to have that balance of still having the ambition of doing really well, but then also like not caring that much, but then more importantly just focusing on the process.
Yeah.
And then, you know, making sure that process of having a routine and enjoying that is good. But then I guess you would say it's a rare case for, you know, people like Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, because they're always, you know, completely just absorbed into being the first, being number one in everything they do. And yeah, I think that definitely gets you there as well. But then it also works if you have a good routine, have a good process.
Yeah.
Because I think a lot of times those people who consistently get in first and everything, they don't have a good healthy life. They don't have like, they're too competitive, where they're not able to enjoy the small things in life.
Yeah, exactly.
Relationships, family.
That's a huge thing.
Yeah.
Getting too bogged down in focusing on that end goal and then not enjoying the little things, just like hanging out with friends. And that, like, I wrote down, I found this quote, and that literally, this quote literally talks about that. It's it goes, "The man who loves walking walks further than the man who loves the destination."
Love the process.
Yeah, enjoy the process.
Yeah.
Don't think about the end goal too much. Just kind of like you said, just do what you love, and then what the quote said: if you think about the destination, you're gonna get there. But then, wait, let me get the quote. I'll read it out again.
Okay.
"The man who loves walking walks further than the man who loves the destination." The man who loves walking walks further than the man who loves the destination.
Yeah, I was watching YouTube videos as well about, you know, how we can't constantly just look at the goal.
Yeah,
because that motivation is short-lived. I think you talk about that in Atomic Habits as well.
Yeah.
It's because motivation will only take you so far, but if you don't really care about the motivation, you just do the act without that motivation, it will actually get you there.
Yeah.
And I guess that's, you know, very important. Yeah. But because I've been trying to adopt that idea as well of having that, you know, winner first, I got to be number one feeling.
Yeah, I think like that it's a good mindset to have.
Yeah.
Like being number one and stuff, but it's you must have a balance. Like you can't. The only thing you think about can't be like, oh, I have to be number one, because then that, I feel like that has like a mental effect on you, and then
it sacrifices a lot of other parts in your life.
Yeah, and it, like, a lot of people are competing for rank 1 as well, and if you're constantly thinking about getting rank 1 and then you don't get it, you're going to be destroyed. Yeah,
it's just about that balance.
Yeah,
because I feel like the winners, you can't be a winner unless you are somewhat absorbed into, I have to, you know, be number one in this group of people. For example, with David Goggins, what he was saying was, when he was gonna get through like Hell Week, he wasn't just gonna pass it. He had to be the top of the graduating class.
Yeah.
And that really resonated with me. I was like, I gotta have that mentality as well.
Yeah, yeah.
But then we can't let that, have like influence over other aspects of our life.
Yeah, yeah.
Have you seen that speech by that valedictorian? There was a speech of this guy who, got the valedictorian, which is like basically the docs of their graduating class of university.
Yeah. Mm.
And that video was like, all about his regrets and how he wishes he didn't pursue this number one position, because even though he graduating top of the class, he sacrificed a lot of other stuff of making friends and enjoying that college experience. And that made me think that maybe pursuing this excellence isn't worth it.
Well, it is worth it, but but
to the point where you have to sacrifice all the other stuff. I'm not sure, because after seeing speeches like that and seeing some of our old boys from our school who says, I wish I would have done this, I would have done that. I've been a lot more kind of pushing my grades away a bit more and enjoying all like the other little stuff, not working as hard and grinding on that single aspect. Like you've seen me talk to like Rayhan, for example, that you can't study this much, because after this period you're gonna feel regret that you didn't experience these great memories.
Yeah, exactly. And like I see, like you convinced me to go CES, and then like the swimming, you're like, this is the last one we'll ever have, and then you're right, like sure, academics is a balance, but it is these times where you can get together with friends and stuff and just have a good time. And they're memories that can last for forever.
I mean, it's just really about what you value more, because some people just purely just value their success in this field. Some people still value making friends, building those connections. And because there was a clip of Kobe Bryant when asked about how he got to where he was saying how during college, instead of going out and partying on a Friday night, he would just be in his room dribbling a basketball until he dribbled himself asleep, and he would not engage in any drinking, going out partying, and it's one of the greatest of all time. And he was happy he went through that, and he sacrificed going out partying, enjoying those high school, college experiences, and because that was something he valued more. And I think it's just all about our individual beliefs and what we think is more valuable.
That's just our perspective.
Oh, it was just brutally honest valedictorian regrets being top of this class. And
okay,
have you seen that?
I'll have to watch it. I haven't seen it.
It's by the King's Academy YouTube channel, 15 million views
on YouTube.
But I saw it and I was like, damn.
I'll check it out.
You
remember at how at CS we were at CS swimming, and then we were talking about to one of the teachers, right? And then he was talking about how he goes on runs as well.
Oh, okay.
And then do you remember when he said the furthest I've ever gone is 17K?
Oh, damn, nice.
And then I said, you can. Were you there?
Yeah, no, I was there, but like I missed like half of the conversation. Maybe.
So basically, he was like, the furthest I've ever done was 17K, and I was like, no, you can literally just do 20. I said do 20, and he says, I don't know, I think I have to like build up to that. And that's where the mindset comes in. That's where the mindset where I can just like, he's literally done 17K before. You can do 20. So that's where the mindset comes in. Like, you can do it. It's just that your mind and what other people think of you is just holding you back.
Yeah. But at what situations do you think?
Oh, there's definitely limits, right?
Yeah, no, but like making those improvements. Because I do agree with you that a lot of times we use that as an excuse that we should probably build it up only like a single level rather than going up by like 10 levels. What situations do you think we should, step it up 10 levels rather than just stepping up by like a single level?
Yeah, I mean, I know what you mean, because like you can't just go from 10K to like 50.
Yeah.
Or like stuff like that. I think that's a hard question.
Yeah, no,
That's a hard question.
I think it's just having a stronger mindset.
Yeah, definitely.
I think still having that realistic kind of viewpoint.
Realistic.
But then at the same time have that like delusional arrogance over yourself.
You have to be crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That you can achieve those things.
Yeah, exactly. Like set that goal.
Yeah.
That like it's a hard question, but I hope.
Yeah. I mean with working out, I don't know much, but like one of the things I read is that you should, do reps until exhaustion, because that's when your muscles grow the most, until you literally can't push anymore. Not just like you can do 15 but you only do 10.
Yeah.
And be safe. I think that should apply to a lot of stuff in our lives.
But then I feel like in these cases your mind is gonna deceive you and be like, you are exhausted, please stop. But then again, there's like a difference between where it actually is.
Yeah.
But then I feel like you need to have that mindset where you just go beyond that.
Yeah.
Seek discomfort, like callous your mind.
Yeah.
Go beyond that exhaustion and just push yourself, and then you just become a better self, and then you're more disciplined. You can achieve more things in life. Things become easier for you.
Yeah, facts. Yeah, well, Max and I have been talking for a long time, like almost.
Doesn't feel that long.
Yeah,
honestly, like.
Nah, it's like check to see if like how long we've been talking, but it's been like an hour and 30, something like that.
Damn.
But. Yeah. Oh, fun fact. Me and Max actually recorded like 2 before this, like a couple months ago. Max really clutched up for me. He was the first person I recorded with.
Nice.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just your.
Yeah. We recorded like in my other room. We were just sitting down, right next to each other, recording on my phone. But now we stepped up the game a little bit.
Yeah.
We got the
invested. Henry invested. Yeah.
Yeah. So hopefully this experience was.
Yeah, I mean,
more worth it than like the previous one recorded.
And I hope the listener. I hope you've taken a lot from this. Obviously Henry and I still have stuff to learn. Yeah, we're not perfect. Like we're not making this podcast because we think we're perfect. Yeah, we're making this podcast to share our experiences and thoughts. Yeah. And then the listener yourself, you can maybe share your thoughts and stuff with us as well. Just through Teenage Hurdles on Instagram and TikTok and stuff like that. But yeah, these are us as teenagers. This is us, achieving, like trying to achieve our goals and stuff. So we're not perfect. These are just our experiences with achieving our goals and what we think. So yeah.
Once again, like Max said, I really, really hope you took something out of it, because I've always very much admired about Max's like work ethic, and I gotta implement that, from today. Like you, one of the things that I learned is don't think, okay, I'm gonna do it tomorrow. I'm gonna start my new hard work tomorrow. The moment you think of it, just start now. Yeah. And from today, I'm a bloody work my ass off. So like Max said, callousing your mind, working hard, have that discipline, because that's probably the most.
It's like the key to success in life. Discipline.
It's like every single part of your life.
Yeah.
Your sports, your education, your projects, anything.
Yeah.
It'll really just help you out. But yeah, I mean, we're on holidays now. We're going on camp in a week. Hopefully that doesn't get canned, because I'm not even gonna say that. It's going ahead. It's going ahead.
Okay.
But after the camp, I'm gonna try to bolt out like 10 episodes.
Let's go.
And then hopefully, it'll be bomb.
Yeah.
And we also like, started a new TikTok. follow that TikTok at Teenage Hurdles, Instagram at Teenage Hurdles, and yeah, follow it, like it. Extremely appreciates it.
Share it with your friends as well. Like they'll get something from this.
Yeah, and also chuck us a review on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, whatever platform you're listening on, because it really helps a lot. So right now, you're listening, scroll down to your phone, pick up your phone, and go give it a 5-star review.
Let's go.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
But yeah, that's all for today. This is Teenage Hurdles, the podcast. My name is Henry.
My name is Max.
And we will see you later. Bye.
See ya.
Good stuff.